Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the April 3rd, 1993 edition of Worldwide Wrestling Review. And we continue to march through this time period. We've got new tag team champions, the Hollywood Blondes, as of last week. If you didn't catch last week's review or you didn't catch last week's show, certainly worth going out of your way to check out one of the better worldwide matches for the year 1993 as a whole and one of the better worldwide matches that I've seen, probably in the top 10 or 20 matches for the program as a whole, going back with the WCW brand starting in 88 or whenever they switched the name. Anyway, the Wrecking Crew, Rage and Fury versus Bagwell and Scorpio. Bagwell and Scorpio have been a tag team for a couple of weeks now. Nothing necessarily huge to write home about, but at the same time, they are continuing to gain wins and momentum. Eventual tag team champions they become. And so Scorpio hits a couple of shoulder tackles on one of the heels here. Doesn't get all he wants. Scorpio using speed, including drop kicks and eventual military presses. Bagwell comes back in, doesn't do as well because he doesn't have the speed advantage. Gets taken down with a half crab, isn't exactly happy about that, but he hangs in there. Eventual cut off of the ring, and Bagwell fights from underneath for a couple of minutes. They give this match probably about 6 to 7 minutes. Scorpio eventually comes in, hits a couple drop kicks and the 450 splash, which for 1993 is innovative. Gets the victory for his team, much to the delight of the fans. Eric Watts basically says he plans to be the television champion, and Paul Orndorff implies that he will take care of Watts Jr. for the sake of Watts Sr. The new NWA champion, Barry Windham, is here with the big gold belt. Brad Anderson, who is the, I believe, son of Ole, is his opponent for the day. Windham talking about being frustrated with Ric Flair being the talk of the town. Windham in an enhancement match here, building up to a summer showdown with Flair. That ends up coming, I believe, in June, if I remember correctly, June or July of same year. So it does build for a couple of months. Flair probably has a non-compete clause where he can't actually wrestle, because I don't think he wrestles for a couple of months in his run there. Hanging back suplex by Windham along the way, doesn't get all he wants with it. Gut wrench suplex by Windham, and he doesn't beat him there either. Pulls the man up almost as an insult to injury. Doesn't really seem to care about anything other than showboating to the best of his ability. And I know that sounds like a weird combination of words, but certainly Windham enjoys the showboating, to say the very least. Leaping DDT by Windham gets him the victory and obvious retention of his championship. Then we go to Chris Sullivan and the British Bulldog. British Bulldog in an enhancement match, putting on an armbar. Doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense. We're moving towards the May pay-per-view Slamboree, where the Bulldog will get his shot at Vader. Super simple match, including the vertical suplex hanging style and the running power slam by the Bulldog. Bulldog hasn't officially, I don't believe, declared his intentions to challenge for the championship, but it's there. The idea that he will go at it with Vader seems pretty logical from the beginning. Television championship crowning time as Eric Watts and Paul Orndorff continue to go at it here. Both guys jockey for position with the arm. Watts eventually getting the advantage with a arm bar and arm wringer. The jockey for position over a top wrist lock, among other things. Hard shots there by Watts. Watts manages to do enough damage, but at the same time, the cagey veteran that is Orndorff is here. The match really amounts to being arm locks and arm bars for the first several minutes. Short knee lift by Watts, and he goes back to work on the arm. Orndorff sends him to the outside and tries to stomp him in the head and go right at him that way. Orndorff willing to do anything to get the advantage. Watts does manage a small comeback, mounting a small comeback in short form there. Orndorff manages to go for and try to hook the inverted suplex. Roll up by Watts. Doesn't get what he wants. Roll onto the back, and it's just awkward. Guys are not in sync, to say the very least. Orndorff uses the buckle and the tights to get an advantage over Watts. Back suplex, which I think is what he was going for in the first place. And then the pile driver by Orndorff gets him a victory in the middle, and he's the new television champion. Ric Flair, with a sit-down interview with Eric Bischoff, talks about being proud of Barry Windham with the tie-in with the Horseman without saying the Horseman name. Frustrated that Windham doesn't want him to be supportive of him by any stretch of the imagination. Flair says he wants to be the NWA champion, the guy to hold the big gold belt for the 10th time. That is not something that Harley Race endorses, obviously, and eventually by the end of the year, Flair has accomplished that and the WCW Championship. Van Hammer in an enhancement match here, punch kick and slingshot suplex for the victory. I don't know if Vinny Vegas has left yet. I don't believe so, but he's leaving within a month or two here. Actually, has to be 2 months because he shows up in June in the WWF, so that's very basic. Arn Anderson talks about wanting to get even and also kind of mentions the idea of the reformation of the Horsemen in a closing promo. Also mentions that he'll get a hold of Eric Watts wherever he needs to, and that closes the deal. Also mentions that no one checked on him during his injury either. So, in any event, we will be back with more right after this.